both still up right here, and so is Lulu.
Yeah, Lulu an option. Jack's perhaps a bit more tempting for Conqui. We'll see.
Kozik's first pick would be quite interesting.
Yeah, grabbing that for ace, theoretically.
Theoretically, but you never know whether that Kozik's might end up in the top lane or something like that as well.
Right.
But they will hand over Lulu to Incredible Miracle, so a bit of an oddball first pick.
Well, Thai's other champion that he's known for is Lulu, too, so wouldn't be surprised to see that go to the mid lane, and yeah, especially if Leona gets locked in. That's going to be 90% sure mid Lulu. Maybe top, you never know, but probably mid.
Well, you do never know, and that's what makes Lulu such a high priority pick right now.
Yeah.
Her flexibility is pretty much unparalleled. There is the Lucian grab for Saren, and Shyvana maybe headed to the top lane for Conqui. Of course, you do see Kozik show up in the mid lane from time to time, but probably right. Ace, in fact, before this match, said that he will carry his team to the round of 16 and champions. So obviously a very confident jungler right there. He was scouted out by Conqui for the team. Conqui usually one of the top players on the Korean challenger ladder. He always sits up right with the very best.
Yeah. So. Ace is also referred to himself as the king of smite. So I guess he's got that going for him.
I thought
when
he
any
League
smite warriors in, he's just multi-talented, man. Does that, plays a little bit of Smash Brothers on the side, a little bit of Rad Racer. He's got the old arcade cabinet. Plays everything. So maybe the Evelynn Twitch combo that we've seen so much of this season, and there it is. Yep.
Just fantastic engage for IM here. They've got a really good setup for spray and pray coming in, especially with all those sunlight procs from Leona. If you hit a lot of people with your W or your solar flare, deal a lot of additional damage.
A good Agony's Embrace on a couple people is going to set up a nearly perfect solar flare every time. So yeah, the engage is crazy from IM #1 right now. And so the Nami pick, pretty popular and pretty standard when it comes to the type of thing that TmT is putting together here. But the question is, who are they going to put in the mid lane? Hoon is known as a Katarina player, but I think that's just kind of a throwback to a different time in Hoon's career.
Hoon, one of the most famous, if not the most famous Katarina player in Korea.
That's right.
He does sometimes revert to it, though.
Once in a while. Once in a great while, you will see him pick it up.
I feel like I see him play it every time, in one game at least, every time I see him play.
Yeah.
And the timer is ticking down. It would be a
he's
bold
going to
choice.
lock it in.
Okay, Hoon.
They're going to go for it. The Nami locked in as well, and it's Hoon, it's Katarina, it's
Well, Katarina's
no
great if you can get a decent laning phase, and that's really the problem, is that she's bullied out of lane so easily.
Are we going to see a top Vayne? I was going to say, that'd be interesting.
That top Nasus, probably not a realistic pickup right here.
I'd be like, top Vayne, Yen, is that you? Poppy, yes. Clearly the superior choice.
The Toppy man.
Toppy? Oh, that's tragic.
Now that teleport is better, I'm just waiting for the days of Poppy to return be here in the first place.
Yeah,
where she
never really
pops
was here.
her ult and then teleports invulnerable into another lane. So because if you use your ult on the opposing top laner and then teleport, you're actually just literally invulnerable for like 3 or 4 seconds after your port completes. It's pretty funny.
Wow. When can we expect to see Seraph doing this? That's the question I've got for you now.
Never.
You say that, but the look in your eyes says, watch out for it next week, NALCS.
You may want to ban that, Dignitas.
That's right. Get ready with the Poppy ban. It's necessary now. Yep. Poppy bans, Tristana bans. Make it happen.
Well, this is interesting. Smeb going back onto the Ryze pickup, so he should have a pretty good one-on-one against Shyvana. But this is definitely going to cause TmT to want to lane swap. And they probably wanted to do that already just so that they could relieve some of the jungle pressure onto the mid lane, just so that Smurf doesn't bully Katarina out. But Thai should be able to push Katarina in and make it relatively hard all the same. But you have to avoid that lane in the 1v1 Shyvana Ryze. And if you can do that, the reason why we don't see a lot of Ryze is that in a lane swap scenario, he just can't jungle very quickly. And so you can easily get champions like Shyvana well ahead in levels.
Yeah, well, Hoon putting it on the line right off the bat in game number 1 with this Katarina. Will TmT be able to take down IM1 and move on to face the Jin Air Stealths in the winner's match? Be pretty crazy. Either way, it's going to be a crazy game. Let's get into it and see who takes it. All right, guys, welcome to Summoner's Rift. Once again, match 2. Team Maximum Throwing versus IM1. And some incredible Miracle fans in the audience. TmT fans as well. Wow. Nice. I like it when the fans get into it. Hoon, of course, still possesses a great many fans. He has been around forever.
And a lot of fans excited to see his Katarina play as well. Always a treat.
Yeah.
Even win. It's a little bit out of the meta. There's a lot of CC on IM, though, so especially that Leona going to be a major threat for the Katarina. So Hoon's going to have to be very careful about where he creates picks during this game and how he uses his abilities. But Hoon has played so much Katarina over the years that he is very good at reading CC.
Yeah.
Which is scary. And a lot of people just don't know Katarina matchups because they never see it. So you always get that advantage too. If you're the one player on the ladder with that pocket pick, you will see a lot of meta champions. You will get a lot of lane practice, but your opponents rarely having that same luxury.
Just like a top Hecarim.
That didn't work out too well.
Didn't, but it was really cool. Hopefully we'll see more of that. I know we won't see more of that, but hopefully we'll see more of that.
Okay, they're standing in a ward right there by the red buff.
Yes,
and we could be going into a dangerous situation.
Yeah. Well, everyone's going to get spotted by a ward. Looks like they may just trade buffs. Oh, but TmT coming back through again. This is pretty awkward. Oh boy. All right. We might have a big fight at the blue buff here. IM1 trying to take this blue buff. It's getting low. Looks like they might be able to just barely grab it. They will.
Oh,
Ace tried to flash for it, but he didn't get it.
King of Smite,
I thought he was the King of Smite. Yeah. What's the deal, Ace? Well, he said he was the King of Smite, not the King of Flash, okay?
He didn't get his Smite down, though, in time.
That's right.
Wow, that was not a good choice right there to flash. In fact, when they saw that, they should have immediately just walked over to enemy blue.
Yeah. Well, maybe we're going to downgrade him to like the Earl of Smite now or something. Not quite the King of Smite. And he's like Lieutenant Flash.
Well, the question now is IM actually going to get 3 buffs? And it looks like that TmT just going to give up.
Wow.
On getting a blue buff in this game, even though Evelyn just kind of slowly making her way over. I'm sure Smurf is going to be quite surprised that this blue buff is actually still here.
I think so.
Because he went to clear out the Wraith camp in anticipation of it being gone. He's like, oh,
hey, awesome.
Sweet.
I get 3 buffs after all. Nice. Well, the maybe unintended 3 buff start for Smurf.
They did have relatively good vision control, though, so they may, it would have been a little bit difficult for them to sneak into that blue buff without IM knowing, but even if they had, they could have just taken it.
Yeah.
So I think that was a bit of a misplay from TmT right off the bat.
Oh, and Ace had to pick up a mana pot. Rune Prison onto Conqui. They're going to try to chase Smeb away here. Conqui just being a bit annoying in the lane, but pretty good matchup for Rise early on.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, you just put on a lot of early harass with that mana crystal.
Yeah. Uh-oh, Smurf. Smurfs are not as friendly as you thought they were. Here comes one now. Getting in behind. They're going to go in onto Saren. A little bit of damage. The Ignite was used. Flash is used as well. Can they chase him down? Viewing trying to get there. Saren gets so low. Oh, and he makes it out. I can't believe it. One more hate spike would have done it, but Smurf just was unwilling to commit to the dive.
Well, it was wise he was unwilling. They didn't know where Kha'Zix was. Kha'Zix was, in fact, waiting there for that very opportunity to take his buffs back.
Yep.
And Ace now going for an invade. Smurf very low.
Yeah, you could come over the wall and make Smurf have a very bad day here. Oh, Ace. Oh. If only he had his flash, huh?
Wow, so he actually got a little bit of heal there from the golems as well, but good heads-up play from a Smurf not to die. He is going to lose some jungle camps for it, but he did force a flash and a heal out of TmT's lane.
Yeah.
They were playing too far forward, a bit risky against this Evelynn, especially when your jungler doesn't have the optimal number of buffs at that time either. Smeb continuing just to put down a lot of harass onto Conqui early.
Yep, doing what Rises do. So Thai versus Noon, or Thai versus Noon in the mid lane.
Yeah, but Hoon already well behind on CS, as you would expect in this matchup. It is just so hard for Katarina.
Try playing a melee champ against a Lulu.
Yeah, she just doesn't have the tools that a lot of other champions in the mid lane have right now in terms of protection from shields or a high amount of sustain.
Yeah.
She also suffers from poor wave clear, so she can lose a lot of minions to turret. Just a very difficult champ to get rolling, but of course absolutely terrifying if you can make it.
Yeah. And you know Hoon's used to this. I mean, how often do you think this guy's played Katarina versus Lulu in the solo queue and Challenger, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
quite a lot.
You'd see that matchup all the time. So, I mean, I'm sure he's accepted being down in CS even quite a bit early on. And he took that Doran shield to start off with too. So, you know, he's anticipating having to play it a bit safer in the early game.
He is indeed. Going back to get some boots as well, just to give him some dodge. He will be going for the Haunting guys first, as can be expected.
Yeah.
Of course.
Well, not actual dodge. It's not the game anymore.
It's true. Unless you're Jax.
That's true, yeah.
But, yeah, just to dodge the Glitter Lances, make it a little bit easier to avoid some of these skill shots coming in from Lulu. And the Haunting guys, once you get that, you're in a pretty good position as Katarina. It'll take you a lot longer to get there than with most champions. The other thing, too, is I don't think I've seen a professional Katarina since the Will of the Ancients change, which could benefit her.
That's a good point, yeah. Wonder if we'll see him picking up that item. How fast he might pick it up, that is. Smurf finding that pink ward, and that's going to prevent the gank, but it's also going to give him a little bit of gold and deny a bit of vision.
Yeah, but it served its purpose, which is letting everybody know where Evelynn was on the map, so smart pickup right there. Smeb still harassing Conqui pretty heavily, and Conqui has gone back to pick up some items already. Smeb just waiting. He's actually recalling pretty late here. Typically on Rise, you want to recall at about 3 or 4 minutes, but the fact that Smeb used his teleport early means that he delayed his tier just a little bit by about 3 minutes. And now he will be able to teleport back in, should he choose.
Hasn't done it yet.
Here he comes.
Okay, yep. Decided to wait, pick up a few more items. And yeah, now he can put a lot of harassment onto Conqui. We'll probably see the back from him fairly soon.
And there it is right now. So actually Conqui has caught up in terms of CS, and
that's what I do too.
Just
Nami has some of the best spam in the game.
Have a fish sieger right up there.
That's right, a flopping fish.
Got to flop
fish
around.
Out of water. It's no lifeguard Renekton, but you know it's pretty good.
Where he jumps on his chair over and over again.
See that? I wish we could see lifeguard Renekton in these games. I'd love to see that getting spammed constantly. Clearly, my priorities are in the right place when I watch these pro matches. Yeah.
Is that one of the skins that's banned from competitive play?
Maybe, but you know the thing is we've seen some of those skins that are banned, quote unquote, be used anyway in OGN, like Glacial and Malphite, for instance.
Oh yeah, that was a long time ago though. I bet that's actually been fixed by now.
Yep.
So I'm not actually sure. I don't pay enough attention to skins in game as I'm casting to know which ones are banned and which ones aren't.
Some of the coolest skins aren't usable, like Eternium Nocturne. Sad stuff.
Sad times indeed.
Yep. Yes, sad.
But Pool Party Lee Sin and Pool Party Graves are usable. I know that. I'm just going to assume that you can use Pool Party Renekton, but I'm not sure.
Oh, Conqui trying to put a little bit of pressure on this Smeb and just push this lane up. Just do as much as he can, but taking so much damage. I mean, this is just the Rise versus Shyvana reality.
It's and here comes Hoon. Looking for a kill on the Rise.
Yep.
They've got a nice pink ward right there. However, that you don't see a Katarina in lane, and you start to get very nervous about a roam. He also just doesn't have any magic penetration or AP yet, so he's not particularly menacing.
Yeah, I mean, 2v1s are always scary, but he's not going to blow you up immediately like he will potentially late game. Oh, Thai rather, moving back up to the mid lane. Whenever I say Thai, I feel like I should start speaking like Old English. Thai moving to Dost mid lane.
I think that's the intention here. That's the only thing I can think of. He's just a big Shakespeare fan.
And verily, Ace smote the dragon, and it was good. The king of smite.
Well, it wouldn't be good for him, for Thai, if Ace smote the dragon. It would be bad.
All that glitter lances doing damage in a line.
Okay. Ace here again, just going to go ahead and clear out the pink ward. So not a lot of action so far, no kills, and pretty much just slow farm lanes. But this is really working in IM's advantage, and TmT needs to start doing something about this because Smeb is just getting big at an alarming rate on Ryze.
Yeah.
We rarely see these straight-up 1v1s with Ryze anymore, which is why he's such a rare pick.
This is why we don't. Yeah, look at all the damage that Conqui takes even in his ult. Ace going to jump onto Smurf, though. They can just turn on it. Conqui, not with any health to do, but here comes Hoon. Hoon coming down, and there's some damage onto Thai. Thai House popped without ultimate, and Hoon coming in with the Death Lotus helps pick up that kill for Ace, and Smeb in a bit of trouble. A double kill for Ace. And Conqui makes it out alive on top of all that. So nice little start for TmT there.
Yeah, very badly misplayed by IM. They split up, and there was a pink ward in there, so that allowed Ace to just get a free rotation of cooldowns onto Smurf with nothing in return. Smurf just didn't even return fire, really. Looked rather surprised that that had happened.
Yeah.
Kept walking in to dive the turret, and then they split up after that. Thai really not in a position yet to do much of anything, and Hoon is just skipping a lot of items right now. He's like, well,
Whoa.
I have 1,600 gold, might as well buy a needlessly large rod.
Well, it's all about those Death Lotuses now. And the thing is I feel like IM's pretty well prepared for this Katarina and team fights. You've got Whimsy, you've got Rune Prison, you've got ways to stop this Death Lotus.
Well,
but
it's especially the Leona stun because
Leona
has so much CC and can just literally walk up to the Katarina and just pop her with the shield.
Yeah. But the question is, how much damage will she do before it happens?
A good Katarina player will, like I said, have those reads on all of the CC in a team fight to know exactly when. So right here, I mean, Smurf just gets ulted on by Kha'Zix, goes down to half HP. Conqui comes out with the Flame Breath to get a little more damage. And this is just atrocious positioning. Also, Smeb has no mana.
Yep.
So he can't even get any more abilities off after that.
Ugh, awkward for IM1.
They should have just taken the advantage that they had from pushing Shyvana back into lane and probably moved towards a dragon. But instead, they end up giving up 2 kills. They're going to try and go for the dragon now, however. Shyvana up in the top lane. Teleport is available.
Yep. Oh, Hoon just harassing Thai a little bit. As Dragon's taken, there's a teleport coming in from Conqui. Can they catch the ultimate over the top? Viewing a little bit low. The Wild Growth goes down on him. But Saren manages to pick up the kill with the culling. Nice solar flare, though, and IM may be able to turn this one around. A kill for Smeb, and how far will they pursue? Saren still with a good amount of health. He just popped his summoner heal. They're going to chase Conqui. Sad really low. Oh, and there's a kill onto Buing. Sad and Saren moving back in, and Saren has a read onto Smeb. Smeb, what were you doing? And that is another kill coming in for Saren.
IM's target calling during team fights has been awful.
Yeah, looks very
they're splitting in very weird directions and not finishing kills, and nobody seems to be communicating very effectively where they're going. So you end up with pretty messy situations. Now, they dodged the tidal wave to start this one off, and frankly, getting them all clustered up in a corridor is great for the Twitch and Ryze ultimates. They also get a good solar flare off. But as soon as it comes to cleanup time, that's when the problems really start right here. They stick together for a little while, but then 2 go back. They're afraid of Saren. Then we have Buing flashing forward, so just a lot of miscommunication. Yes, Sad goes over the pit, and then Thai and Warrior running around in circles, and Smeb just walks straight into Lucian.
Bizarre. Really odd fight. But that means Bloodthirsts are finished relatively quickly for Saren now. And we've got pretty decent items and a decent gold lead at 14 minutes for TmT. You have to change their name to Team Maximum Trauma for what they're doing to IM1 right now.
Well, I mean, that said, it does have a very large scaling advantage in this game. So when we consider that how far this Ryze is ahead right now, the gold lead is actually very negligible for
Well, the thing is,
TmT.
too, is that the possible engages from IM1, if they can get a bit more coordinated, are really devastating.
And Katarina is an easily controlled champion. That's all there is to it. So it's very difficult to use her properly. So 3 people now. Smurf trying to slip into the bush for a lane gank.
Yeah, Ward will not spot him.
Okay.
Hoon is right there, too. He did do a bit of a roam. With Ace in the mid lane, though, you have to imagine that IM's pretty well aware of what's up.
Yeah, TmT does have an advantage just in terms of burst, though. The Kha'Zix Katarina Lucian combo will hit you really hard and 100-0 you. So you do have to be...
Oh, Solar Flare, they do catch Saren a little bit. Oh, but the Zenith Blade does not connect. Tidal Wave just for safety's sake, but yes, sad, doesn't really need it.
Now Dragon's back up, and I am hoping to get a kill or at least push them off so they can actually go for that objective as they move the minion wave closer to their opponent's tier 1.
Yeah.
Die and Hoon still duking it out in the mid lane, and after a lot of action, we're back into some pretty passive farming at the moment.
Pretty much.
Smeb has his teleport up, so they can make a Dragon play anytime they want, but they have to get some, maybe a couple more wards around the pit. They're doing okay in terms of vision as it is.
Need to push this lane up a little bit too, which is what they're doing. Yeah, Thai trying to push his lane up as well, so it looks like Dragon may be the plan here. We'll see. Hoon will level down, but still a lot of damage with the items that he's got, even if it's no big core items finished yet.
Yeah, Smurf just continuing to make circuits into the bottom lane, trying to get the gank that will actually open this Dragon up for an attempt, but just not happening, and he's also just not clearing wards at the same time. He's got his sweeper out. He could be doing, I think, a little bit more instead. Now walking up into the top side, Smeb defends the turret successfully. He got a Negatron cloak now to deal with some of Shyvana's damage coming out. Shyvana not having an attack damage item this game, like a Cutlass or a Blade, so pretty safe with the Negatron.
Yeah, just going straight up tanky. No Dragon attempts yet by either side.
Very slow pace to this game.
Oh, yeah. After a couple action-packed minutes, that's about it. So for now, I mean, it's just farming. Break out your Super Nintendo controller because it's Harvest Moon time.
Well, this is definitely the best situation for IM to be in, however. They're going to be perfectly happy with getting this Rise even further and further ahead.
Oh, yeah.
He's already 700 gold up.
Yeah, Rise, Twitch, Lulu, all these champions are going to get stronger over time. And Evelyn, you know, I mean, once she gets a bit more tanky, is going to be really terrifying in team fights. And, you know, they're starting to itemize against this Katarina, too. You can see the Negatron cloaks coming up, Ace jumping on the Thigh, and Thigh whimsying himself away. You will use thy whimsy to escape the gank.
To escape the bugs.
That's right.
So nobody down here to actually defend this turret right now. So TmT is going to get an uncontested turret. Vi pushing up the mid lane instead of covering down in bottom. So again, another perhaps a little bit of miscommunication from Incredible Miracle as they don't make any attempt to actually save their bottom tier 1. Now TmT moving up behind the pit. They know what IM wants to do. They also missed the timing window where Smeb had teleport up and Conqui did not. So
yeah, not the cleanest game we've ever seen in Champions. Be careful, Hoon. The lane is dark and full of terrorists.
Well, potentially. There's always a double invisibility threat.
Yeah.
Also, this Twitch really not playing very far forward right now. He's not trying to make any ganks on the lanes alongside the Evelyn, which he doesn't really need farm. He's got the Blade of the Ruined King. Now it's time to farm champions.
Here we go. The Dragon getting taken by IM1. It looks like they're getting it pretty low. The teleport coming in, though, from Conqui. And they're going to go ahead and jump on the Dragon instead. There's the Tidal Wave to force them off of the teleport coming from Smeb, too. There's the ultimate from Saren. Viewing a little bit trapped in the back. And Trace forced out by Bori already. Dragon does go over to TmT. And it looks like they may lose a couple people for it, though. Kills on both sides, and Conqui chasing down Smurf now. Smeb, the double kill for him, and he might be able to make it a triple here. Smurf barely making it out. So the Dragon went to TmT, but then they lost nearly everybody.
And that Dragon is totally not worth it, not
Nope.
the least of which because IM is going to be getting an objective. But even if they hadn't gotten a tower, the gold advantage still goes over to IM in that situation this early on in the game with the Dragon.
Yeah.
And coming in, now they try and pick this one up. They prevent it from resetting. IM, again, didn't have the...
Nice wild growth.
Yeah, very nice wild growth onto 4. So they do tie them up, and Bori around the side right there gets a decent spray and pray off, but there's another team fight mistake that happens here in that Smeb starts running down, and then Smurf comes in because I think he thought that Smeb would turn on to Shyvana, and they do eventually get Conquest, but it is a little bit too close for comfort. And again, I think a little bit of miscommunication in terms of target calling in that fight because we do see these rather odd splits and positioning which could lead to deaths, even though it was a pretty solid team fight win for Incredible Miracle, just not the executed in the best way possible.
There were a lot of people low on IM at the end of that. That could have easily been a much more even fight, or maybe even a fight that TmT would have walked out of with the winner trophy, the team fight trophy.
Is that what you get? You win a team fight.
Trophy.
The ref just walks into your booth with the trophy.
They only got the participation ribbon this time. We were in the team fight at Drag in 2014.
Well, good situation for IM right here. They've pulled back even in terms of gold. Got the pressure on the mid lane, which will make it a lot harder for Hoon to make plays on the map. And they'll get a large mini wave and bot for Twitch. But they need to continue with the aggression and the picks right now.
Yeah, well,
you need to use your stealth with Evelyn and Twitch.
Maybe a bit of a pick setup by, well, both sides, honestly. Ace coming in. They see Saren as well. Oh, it actually missed him. Yeah, they split, and they're going to run away, yeah. 3v4. Not the situation that IM's too interested in.
They're also, Shyvana was also up in the top lane, so it could have easily been a 3v5.
Yeah.
Now they're going to make a charge down to the tier 2 mid lane, however, just to keep him off the tier 1 and top, force them into a situation where they have to defend or trade unfavorably for towers.
Doesn't look like it'll work, though. Conquest taking that turret because it had, like, no health remaining, and he'll be able to move down now and join the rest of his team.
They're getting some decent damage on this tower all the same.
The waves are working out really well, too, but it looks like they'll just give it up.
Well, they can. They could just move down into the bottom lane and take a tier 1 there now. They have the wave pushed up, so they may not have to trade their mid lane at all. And 5 people, they ward up bottom side jungle, not going to set up a pick. And TmT just moving forward.
Yep, there goes the bot turret over to IM number 2. And will they be able to save this mid turret? I doubt it, but that's okay with IM. They're just going to push out to this tier 2.
I think this is actually quite foolish. They're going to turret race. Oh, boy.
We have ourselves a base race. Here we go, guys. IM number 1 takes out the tier 2. Tier 2 goes out at the same time for TmT. They're going to inhibit a race. No, the recall's coming in. IM thinks they can win this fight. They're going to lose their inhibitor turret, though. At least.
I don't know. I actually think that IM should have traded right there just because the bottom tower and the bottom inhibitor is worth a lot more than mid in terms of Baron control.
Yeah, definitely more valuable. Now they just recalled and didn't get anything out of it.
They were a little bit afraid of the damage coming in, but I mean, Kha'Zix will be able to take down that tower just a little bit faster.
So at this point, with some members of TmT recalling, can IM maybe sneak a Baron here? They're not going to, but do you think that would have been a good option?
No, it's too early in the game for that. They need to get some more.
Minutes?
Yeah, they need to get some more combat stats. Ryze is still scaling right now. His Rod of Ages isn't fully stacked yet either.
Well, they're going to go for this tier 2 in the middle lane, and they'll take out that turret pretty easily. Now maybe setting up a pick in the jungle as they move out to take a little bit more vision control around Baron.
We'll see how far they want to push this. They have a naked inhibitor, so they can't all go to the top lane to take out the last remaining tier 1 on the side of TmT.
It looks like they're just sending Smeb. That's it. Viewing is there, though, to be a bit of a help.
Yeah, just for a little bit added safety. Of course, Smeb does have his teleport if he needs to get back in a hurry. Just shoving the wave in, letting the minions do a little bit of that work. But Smeb has assembled an extremely large CS lead, and it seems unlikely that even though the inhibitor is naked for IM, that TmT will be able to win this game at this point. When you get a Ryze this far ahead, he's nearly completed his Seraph's Embrace as well.
Wow, yeah.
So everything looking pretty good. That tier is close to fully stacked right now. The Rod of Ages is fully stacked at the moment, or maybe 1 minute off. So he's feeling pretty good.
Oh, I am lurking in the bushes again, dragging up in about 30. So maybe we'll see another team fight around that.
Yeah, almost certainly. Everybody's setting up for it right now. Oracle's Lens purchased by Buing.
Yep. Oh, Bori jumps onto Hoon. He caught him. He's going to be able to do some decent damage. The engage comes in from Saren, though, and he does a little bit with the culling. There's a solar flare going down. Konkui gets knocked out. Hoon in big trouble. Has the Zonias immediately. Didn't get any damage done before Tai took him down, and now TmT on the run. Thai gets a bit low. Oh, and he gets jumped on by Ace. Mario stopped there, but it looks like IM is going to be able to turn around and probably get a dragon out of this. Yeah, they get the flash from Yes Sad as well.
Yeah, pretty easy right there. Ace is still a threat, so they have to be a little bit careful.
He is the king of Smite. Here's his chance to prove it. Can he get in and steal this dragon? He's going to try. Oh, not quite the king of Smite. Maybe he'll be able to get a kill. No, not really. Konkui comes in, though, and they've scattered IM. Smeb jumps onto Lucian and takes on Saren really quick. Whoa, this is really dangerous for TmT. Konkui just wants something out of this, and he will be able to get Smurf. And maybe Smeb to the double. Goes down onto Bori now, and Bori AD carry versus top, and it goes to the AD carry. A bloody affair on both sides. This game is pretty insane.
Konkui having a bit of a chuckle right there after that play, but he did actually do a good job of home guarding back into that fight after coming out, so they didn't lose as badly as they could have, and they do keep the gold total fairly even. So Ace, it's low right there, is able to escape, and Smeb has done a whole lot over the course of this fight already. Takes down Saren, then they're going to turn right onto Yes Sad, and then some actually really nice kiting from Smurf and Smeb right there, just staying at range in order to hit the hate spikes. Unfortunately, Burnout making Shyvana just a little too fast, taken out with the E, but Bori is there. He's waiting with his Blade of the Ruined King.
Yep, it's a lot of gold after that too. So
Seraph's Embrace finished, so everything done stacking right now onto Rise. Absolutely terrifying champion.
Yeah.
Be quite surprising if he goes down again. Now is their time where they can really seriously start baiting out this Baron. They know that. Vision control coming down.
Yeah, I'm #1. That scaling really starting to pay off now when we get to close to 30 minutes.
And TmT, just not enough pink wards at the moment. You have to have the pinks against the Evelynn and the Twitch because you just can't even trust where there are green wards in terms of getting picked in this situation.
That top turret pretty low. It's been a rather safe game for turrets. Hoon gets jumped on again by Bori. Just forced out of that mid lane for now.
Chunpo used, but that's fine. Not really too big of a trade right there. You don't want to open up with the Blade of the Ruined King active when Katarina can get away so easily.
Oh, yeah.
Just chase her back, put on the pressure, make her play on the defensive. Pink wards up everywhere right now for Incredible Miracle 1, including 2 in the same bush, like you do.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, is that that's 10 hits to get rid of those, so you can maybe fight over them a little bit easier.
Well, 2 green wards actually prevent TmT from neutralizing the vision on that brush, and here we go. Oracle's Lens used by Buing as they go through and sweep.
Yeah, Buing going way deep into the jungle. Getting a bit chased now by Konkui and Hoon. They need to be careful. Looks like they want to turn around on this. Konkui comes in, gets Rune Prison immediately, and Leona jumps into the back line. Tidal Wave is pretty good, and Ace comes out with the first kill. TmT not looking bad in this fight. The culling doesn't do a ton, and now Smeb re-enters the fray. A kill for Bori, a kill for Thai, and Ace is on the run. Make that a double for Bori. Looked good for a moment there, but I am just way too far ahead right now.
Well, that's the thing, is the sustained damage from Incredible Miracle is much higher, whereas the burst from TmT. So if the burst doesn't win the fight immediately, then you're just not going to win.
Ace is not the king of ease either. Poor Ace.
Poor Ace indeed.
Yep. Team nearly got aced.
Going for a black cleaver now, actually, so trying to carry his way out of this one, but probably could use a little bit more tankiness.
He's said he's going to, so I don't know if it's going to happen. And this Katarina pick, I mean, we've seen it. It just has not worked out for Hoon at all. I mean, she's too easy to control. You can't really get a good Death Lotus against a good team.
Well, he gets actually a decent one right here, but even so, again, it's just the burst, the survivability. So now they use all their cooldowns, and look at that too. You do see the Solar Flare actually holding up any kind of subsequent engage. Hoon has to drop that early. Look at the glitter lance from the help picks on them just to finish off Katarina as she's running. Double kill coming in for Bori at the same time. So when you have Kha'Zix and Katarina on a team, you have to kill like probably 2 people immediately, because if you don't, well, you know, Twitch is always there, autoing you, Rise is there, just putting out that constant DPS with the tankiness, and with the spell vamp coming out of his ults as well, he will be able to heal up quite a bit. Yeah,
if you don't have the vision to make those picks, then you're kind of completely out of luck at that point.
Yeah, I like how Smurf also built the faster Aegis than we typically see. He knows that if he can neutralize the burst damage from Katarina, they have a great chance of winning these team fights. Even better if he upgraded it into Locket, but has the Giant's Belt all the same, just for some tankiness for himself. But if he sees Hoon come in and start to use that Death Blows, popping the Locket.
Speaking of coming in, they're going to jump onto Ace. Hoon getting chased away as well. There's a tidal wave, but IM able to disengage pretty easily, and with that ult out of the way, they're going to feel pretty good about maybe turning around and trying to bait something at Baron.
And just using...
maybe just doing Baron.
Like it just started for sure.
All right, well, Baron being taken right now by IM1. TmT knows this. They have to stop it. Coming in, no tidal wave though. The ult's not working out. There's Conquest coming through. Baron does go over to IM1, and now they just need to survive the fight. Nice wild growth. A lot of damage coming in from Thai from the outside, and Smeb untouched as well. Oh, a double kill for Thai. Make that a triple kill. Yeah, Baron power. This team is just huge right now. Thai really wants to go for the Penta. He's like, oh, I can't even get the Quadra.
Yeah, I think he's wise to turn around right there, though. It doesn't really matter if Nami dies. Much more important to use your Sheen to start knocking down turrets and closing out this game.
The win is a little bit more important than the Quadra kill.
Indeed it is.
Only my solo queue teammates knew that.
Hoon actually did get a full channel Death Lotus off in that fight. The Rune Prison doesn't stop it because it's just a root, not a true stun. So he kind of just got Rune Prison in place, spinning around, but he just doesn't do enough damage right now to this Rise, especially now that Rise has the Banshee's Veil, and so he was just focused down immediately by smurfing Smeb.
A lot of shields on IM as well too, so just not going to be taking as much damage, especially with all the MR that the team has at this point. Oh, Ace still not really getting those smites.
No,
he did get that one. Okay, all right, the crown is back.
King of Smite reigns. Actually uses Smite to take it away from Rise. Doesn't give it over to Smeb. Smeb, is he enraged by Frozen Heart, though? Because that would kind of be the nail in the coffin for Saren and Ace. Goes back and actually picks up a Void Staff, so much more concerned about his damage at this stage. There's not a lot of MR, interestingly, on the side of TmT. Just a Banshee's Veil, really. On to Conquest and a Hex Drinker on Kha'Zix. So, oh, there we go. Also building into Abyssal. So, I take it back. Relatively decent MR, but Void Staff. Yeah, Void Staff will be cutting through that very easily.
Yep.
I am playing pretty passively with this Baron, actually.
Yeah, I would imagine they'd be putting some more pressure on, but it looks like they just want to play it out safe. Ultra safe.
Yeah, I think they should have staggered their recalls back a little bit better right there and had one person push out the wave and then recall and then walk back to join the rest of the team so that the wave would push a little bit faster. But that's a minor nitpick, all things considered. Now they're just going to proxy the wave a little further up, try and get a tier 2 turret, a large minion wave in bottom.
Yeah. Yeah, IM1 looking pretty good. Another easy turret. They're going to be up 7-2 after this. And TmT just put on their back foot completely now. They have to win some sort of big fight from the base if they want to have any chance here. Tidal wave is up, of course. And will we see it? Aqua Prison hits Smurf, but no worries there. They take out the turret. Now they're going in. There's the Solar Flare. They try to lock someone up. There's a Tidal Wave over the top, but no finishing after that. And yeah, IM is just going to walk all over TmT at this point. An easy kill for Bori. They can just turn onto this inhibitor and then see how far they can push in. Ace gets jumped on by Viewing, but they're going to hold off for now. Oh, there's a nice wild growth onto Smeb. Knocks up Hoon. They're going to surround him as the zone is finished. Hoon tries to stumpo away. Going to go down anyway to Bori. And now when the team is firing pot shots into your fountain, things are not going well. And there it is. GG. And Incredible Miracle #1 will eventually take down the Nexus here. take the game, and they will move on to face the Jin Air Stealths for a chance in Champion Summer.
Well, Thai did a really good job on Lulu, and also Mori, good debut game on Twitch, but they did take a few